Implementing new shiny features, for example the new boss that will kill most players multiple times and make them suffer until they will finally beat it, or in case of my game, adding a power plant and a power system that will make all other things in the game more complex and challenging, is for me the most fun of developing a game. But sometimes you need to take a step back and recognize that it's time to work on things that are not that big and shiny. For example, improving an already existing mechanic, or maybe some quality of life changes, or maybe just fixing some bugs. And with that, welcome to devlog number 5 of my minimalistic 2D city builder / resource management game I make with Godot 4 and C#. After designing and implementing the new UI in the last devlog, I reached the point I just mentioned and came to the conclusion that it was time to postpone new features a bit and instead improve and solidify the foundation. But I already can promise you that in the next devlog a lot of new and cool mechanics will be added, so don't forget to subscribe to not miss it. And now to the first thing I improved. Right now there are no limitations where you can place buildings. You can build buildings on each other or can place them on resource chunks. And that's of course not desired, so I added hitboxes to the buildings. A first working implementation was quickly done, but it behaved really weird. Sometimes it worked like it should and sometimes not at all. After some time I noticed that it only works until I move the camera. I found a GitHub issue that describes my problem and it looks like it's more or less a bug of Godot, but now that I know what the problem is, I can implement a workaround and so it's not that bad. The workaround is a bit more complicated and took more time to implement than my first iteration, but now the restrictions for the building placement works like it should. So here's a little demo of the new restrictions of the building placements. So whenever the player is in build mode and the building is blocked by something, the building turns red, and when I click the build button, so the left mouse button for now, nothing happens. But as soon as I move the building to a free and valid place, the color turns back to normal, and by pressing the mouse button I can place the building like it should be. The second thing I want to show you are these two buttons here at the bottom. This one is for destruction or destroy mode, so when this is active and you click on a building, this building will be then destroyed by the villagers. And the second button here is to move buildings around. Moving buildings is right now instant and does not have any costs, but in the future I will probably adjust that so that villager will have to move the resources from the old place to the new one. And maybe I will also add a small additional price on top. I'm really happy to have finally these features implemented, because they are kind of fundamental for a city builder, and sometimes it was really annoying that there was no possibility to move or remove buildings. So yeah, a tiny thing I added to the game, but that has no direct impact to the game itself, but I still want to mention, is the small version label at the bottom left. It is visible the whole time and displays the current version of the game. This has two benefits. The first one is more of a side, small thing. So with the version displayed the whole time, it is now easy for me to guess the time frame on which a clip or screenshot was created. So it's very easy and nice to see the progress I made with the project since I started it. And the main benefit is that later, when hopefully some other people will play the game and maybe send some feedback, send some screenshots or clips and report a bug or something, it's really easy for me to check which version the player used in this clip or screenshot, and I can check maybe I already fixed that in a newer version. And yeah, that's just a tiny thing. Next was the very big topic that was completely new to me, shader. Till now I only experimented a bit with the Unity visual shader, but without much success. So first I read a bit about the topic, and there I can really recommend the introductions to shaders of the official Godot documentation. It's really basic, but I think it gives short but nice introduction. Link to the documentation is also in the description of this video. It took me not that long until I had the desired shader. It is a really simple circle that will now display the range of the mine in the lumber check, instead of this blurry ugly sprite I used before. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. The range is now also not the whole time visible, but only when the info panel of that building is open. So with that everything is a bit more clean, and yeah, it's not too annoying when there are a lot of range indicators laying on each other. Another small thing I added is the info panel for villagers. So by clicking on a villager, the corresponding villager info panel is opened, and that displays for now the villager's inventory and hunger. So just to get some information, and later on there will be lots of more additional information added. A small but quite annoying thing that happened multiple times while developing these features is that when I inspected an error log in the Godot console, my PC crashed. I'm not really sure what caused the issue, if it's a problem with the engine or my graphics card. I have no clue. It did not happen that often, but quite a few times, so I hope to find a fix for that soon. Updating the project to Godot 4.0.2 did also not solve the problem, so yeah, still not sure if it's a engine problem or my PC. And I also think I'm developing a kind of trauma, because every time I inspect now an error log, I have to fear that my PC crashes again. So yeah, it's kinda annoying, but yeah, it's okay, it's possible to work. To close the cycle and go back to the beginning of the devlog, if you're also developing a game, please write a comment and tell me what are the tasks that you like the most when you work on your project. I'm really interested how other people approach developing a game and what they enjoy. And that's it for this devlog. Have a nice day and hopefully see you soon. Bye!